Welcome to my channel.
It's Liam Killen, and this video is sponsored by DistroKid. I have an EP in the process of being mastered right now, and I'm going to be releasing it via DistroKid. Honestly, in my opinion, I think that they're the best around, and I'll get to why in just a bit. The main focus of this video will be on the Tascam Portastudio 424 MK2. So yeah, I used Tascam processing on 2 of the tracks on my upcoming EP. I was aiming for that like late 80s, early 90s kind of lo-fi cassette sound, and this is the best tool in my arsenal for getting a step closer to that sort of quality. Here's an SB404 performance of the track that we're going to be working on today. Yeah, a lot of you have inquired about what the best way of releasing music to stores is. Stores being platforms like Spotify, Apple Music, iTunes, Tidal. There's many more. And releasing music with DistroKid is a great option because they keep up to date with all of these new platforms, including TikTok, you know, that platform that everyone's talking about these days. The one that I've been posting on incessantly for the past like 2 or 3 months. Yeah, that one. I chose DistroKid because they take care of everything for you. All you have to do is upload your track, and they take care of the rest. Another huge selling point for me is that they don't take any cut from your streams. They just deliver 100% of that to you. I've uploaded a few tracks in the past, and within 2 or 3 days, they're available to the public, which is pretty unbelievable to me just how fast you could get your music out. Some of those tracks have even made it onto major Spotify playlists with basically no money for promotion. So thank you DistroKid for your help on that one. It's $19.99 a year to release unlimited music to the public, which is literally dirt cheap. So if you're planning on signing up, there's one thing that you gotta do. You get a 7% discount if you sign up using the link in the description, which is another win for you. And I also get a small commission from your purchase as well, which really helps me out and helps support this channel. If you have any further questions that you want to ask me, don't hesitate to leave them in the comments down below. Or if you have questions for DistroKid, just contact them directly. Okay, so let's Tascam it up. We're basically using the Tascam for some sweet tape saturation, and I'm also going to be using the pitch knob to mess around with the pitch. I actually already lo-fied this track with a few plugins that you might want to know about. In particular, I use the Audio Degradation Suite by Native Instruments, which is a VHS emulator, and it's free if you have the full version of Reactor 6, so that's the paid version of it. And I actually have a full video going into this plugin, so I'll link it there and also in the description down below. Great plugin for lo-fi stuff. First off, we're going to turn this switch to normal tape speed because that's the more lo-fi option. We're recording stereo onto 2 tracks, so I'm going to pan it stereo. Right now we're in tape mode, so if you want to listen back to the track through the Tascam, you set it to tape mode. But we're going to go to mic/line, so that's recording mode. We're also going to bump the highs slightly. Tape responds really well for the low end, so we're going to boost the lows slightly. Generally, I like to record levels moderately. I don't want it to be too loud or too close to peaking. I like to be hitting at around 3 dB. Sometimes when I'm bouncing an individual instrument through the Tascam, I like to give it that like super saturated tape sound, in which case I would boost to maybe 6 or to the point where it's peaking. But for a full track, it doesn't really work. Next thing I'll do is bounce the whole track through the Tascam. To do that, I'll press play and record at the same time. And then I hit the spacebar, it'll record from my DAW through the Tascam. Let's see what it sounds like. These are some pretty subtle differences, so I suggest that you use quality speakers or headphones. This first track here is the pre-Tascam. Let's take a listen to that. That sounds pretty good and balanced. Let's check out the after effects of the Tascam. Like I said, quite subtle, but there's definitely a nice juiciness to the low end. The kick and bass have a lot more warmth, which is like a typical tape quality. And even though I boosted the highs through the Tascam, they seem to be a bit more tamed somehow. Same thing with the high mids, they're definitely a lot warmer. Next, we'll take a look at the pitch knob, which I actually did use in the original version of this track. First off, if you want, you could make like a super wonky lo-fi version of your track by turning the pitch knob all the way down. There's actually another trick here. In the original version, I went even further with this. I recorded it with the pitch knob as high as possible, in which case you have a further range to bring the tempo down even more. Another cool and creative thing that you could do is that you could subtly bend the pitch during the track if that's the sort of effect that you want. I still haven't found any software or plugin that allows you to bend the pitch like that on the fly, at least not to this degree. You just have a lot more control with the Tascam. This is definitely one of the best ways of doing it. So let's give that a try. And those are a few ways that I use the Tascam on my latest EP release. As for the release itself, it'll be out in probably the next month or so, maybe a little bit over a month, so stay tuned for that. Like I said earlier, if you're interested in officially releasing your own music, hit up DistroKid. They're really the best deal that I could find. If you do, make sure to use the link below in the description to get that 7% discount. Thanks so much for listening, and if you're into this sort of content, please make sure to like and subscribe. You guys really are the best, and I'll see you in the next video.
Peace.